Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Magnum Martel, and welcome back to another beautiful video where I once again have to talk about some stuff going on in the gaming industry. And I'm pretty sure that every single person here is aware of all the stuff going on with Activision Blizzard. You know, they're being sued because apparently there's been a lot of sexual harassment within the company, and a lot of people have come forth. And while I did do my own video talking about it, I do have an update planned, another video I want to revisit the topic, due to the fact that there's some information, and I find that my opinion has changed a little bit. But before we do that video, there's something else we have to talk about. I'm sure everyone is aware of who Jason Schreier is. You know, the former Kotaku editor-in-chief who decided he wanted to talk about politics instead of video games and was fired for it, who later went to Bloomberg. I don't need to go over his whole history. But now he's still a terrible journalist. He still focuses his career almost entirely on hit pieces and being a hypocrite. Well, it turns out that Jason Schreier knew for a very long time, actually over a year, about what was going on at Activision Blizzard, and he did nothing about it. So I'd like to talk about it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think that anybody should ever go to Jason Schreier when they want something to get out. But he is somebody that the industry seems to love for some ungodly reason, despite the fact that he is a bad journalist, because he did get a good start, and he used to do a good job. He did establish himself early on. So he is someone that if you want your story to be heard, it's probably going to be listened to if you talk to him. However, I would advise against it, because as we're going to talk about today, it's pretty obvious that if the story is of no benefit to him, he's not going to talk about it. Jason Schreier is somebody who constantly calls out different companies for different things, different individuals for different things. He is someone who is fully supportive of Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn. He is part of the reason they took off to begin with. But he is very selective in what he does. He will not talk about a story if there's no benefit to him. He will not talk about a story if it doesn't push the agenda he supports and forms the narrative that he wants. Look no further for evidence to the fact than the fact that he defended Naughty Dog for crunch while working on The Last of Us 2 because that game pushes the narrative he likes. But he actively attacks CD Projekt Red and other developers repeatedly for the exact same thing. He was all too happy to help Zoe Quinn attack Alec Awoka, the creator of Night in the Woods, for supposedly sexually abusing her, despite the fact that there was evidence to the contrary. And he totally ignored the story when it was about her being a terrible person, and even defended her when it was about her supposedly blowing guys in the journalist circles to get good reviews for her game. That is but merely a few examples of what makes Jason Schreier a terrible games journalist. But this isn't about his history. This isn't a documentary. Although it would be interesting to do something like that in the future, especially in my style. No, this is about the Activision Blizzard scandal, where Jason Schreier knew for over a year, had been told by people, had been given information and even evidence, and said nothing. And I'll tell you why. But first, let's take a look at the evidence. So the story did break pretty early in the controversy on Reset Era, and although I would never believe Reset Era for anything, the fact that this was taken down and the person who posted it, as you can see in this image here, proves to me that something's going on, because Reset Era is on Jason's team. They want to defend him. So here we have this image of the post, and you can see that the person who posted it, this Hero of Legend character, was banned for a month. Originally, it was permanent. They must have lowered it after I looked at this last week when I first started planning this video. And they banned them for spreading conspiracy theories, because it's only a conspiracy theory if it's against Jason Schreier. And thankfully, while originally they did have it struck completely, it has been put back up. I guess they realized that they can't protect him forever, and this makes him look bad. That's my assumption. But here we have the screenshots of what Jason had to say. It's worth noting that since this was posted, all of these tweets have since been deleted. Jason is trying to hide them. Here we have the tweet that originally leaked the information, mocking Jason for saying that he doesn't go off of leaked rumors and anecdotes, even though he frequently puts out tweets and articles involving leaked rumors and anecdotes. But let's get on to the real meat of the story. Thousands of Gamergate cretins are spreading a rumor that I was hiding or sitting on the story about Blizzard. Normally I wouldn't address their nonsense, but I'm getting flooded with messages, so here's the truth. I'd been actively investigating this for years. 3 months ago, and then he shows some information of his investigation. Damn those Gamergate cretins for outing me as the liar that I am! Curse you, Gamergate! Seriously, someone should let me play a He-Man villain. I would make a great Skeletor. Meh! I'd heard rumors and anecdotes, but could never corroborate enough of an article for various reasons. That happens often. Sometimes it takes something monumental for the truth to come out, and I'm blown away by the courage of those who have shared their stories. He's really trying hard to make himself look like the good guy. No. The truth is, the fact of the matter is, obviously, that Jason knew exactly what was going on. Jason knew, and he said nothing. You know why? Because Activision and Blizzard give him private information. They give him stuff to put out. He is in good with the company. He is in good with the people in charge. He wants to continue sucking that cock so that he can keep milking all the stuff. So he's the first one to post articles about anything. That is the harsh reality. Jason knew the entire time, but he didn't say jack fucking shit about it because he knew that he would lose his special privileges. But we're not done yet. Truth is, I've heard several stories about sexism and sexual misconduct at Blizzard over the past few years. Notice how he keeps changing the time. Needless to say, we'll be reporting more on this. If you work or worked at Blizzard and would like to share your story confidently, now I've cut off his email here because he can actually strike me for that, even though it is public information. And I know Jason Schreier is the type of weak little soy-filled weenie who would absolutely strike somebody for sharing an email that he posts publicly all the time. Now, the posts do go on and on about this whole thing, but basically, Jason knew the entire time that this was going on, but he chose to say nothing because it benefited him to keep his mouth shut until the story could no longer be ignored. Now he's coming off and trying to claim that he only had ideas and that he was quote-unquote investigating. And for once, the woke brigade on Twitter is being useful to the rest of us. Because despite the fact that they have defended Jason Schreier for many, many years, they've realized that he is a fucking shitlord. And they have started to cancel him. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I do not support cancel culture in the slightest. Although, I wouldn't be totally against the idea of using it against those who created it, like Jason Schreier, when they fuck up to balance things out and restore the system to purity. I know that if we do that, it just turns into a never-ending back and forth. However, I'm not going to stop the people that are canceling from canceling Jason. Because fuck you, Jason Schreier. That's right, YouTube, I said it. Strike me down now, and I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. But fuck Jason Schreier. If he gets canceled and loses his career, gets fired from Bloomberg, it is no skin off my bones. I do not care in the slightest.
He wants the skin off my bones, Double D!
It is entirely in my not-so-humble opinion that Jason Schreier gets what he fucking deserves. And you know what? The gaming industry will be better off without it. We hoped that he would be gone when he got fired from Kotaku, but instead, he got moved over to Bloomberg and got a job there, where he's not only continued unimpeded in his never-ending fucking rampage of selective reporting, but he has continued repeatedly to gain traction and better trust. Because Bloomberg, at least until he showed up and until it went full left, was a trustworthy outlet that used to report on the facts. I've had this argument before all across the internet, and I've lost all respect for Bloomberg the moment they hired his ass, because it told me that they no longer could be trusted. And I've had people that actively deny that fact and say that the fact that he works there proves that he is trustworthy, even though this whole story right here proves the exact opposite. You get what you deserve, Jason Schreier. You reap what you sow. I hope they cancel you for no other reason than at this point, you fucking deserve it. And I will not be defending you, despite the fact that I have defended victims of your bullshit over the past several years. Good fucking riddance. I hope you lose your job and you see what it's like to be on the other end of the sword. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if you trust Jason Schreier or not, or if finding out that he knew about all this changed your opinion on him in the slightest. And I will see you in the next video.